All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of another relaunch. I am Urisinrel, aka Fatality.
Is that the girl that John Stewart dates?
Yeah, who is now a Indigo Tribe member.
Oh, good for her.
Yes,
Oh,
she's not a Starfire anymore.
panels on Twitter, and I just thought she had a new pink costume, but she's indigo. That makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I'm Lin Lee, the Iron Fist, the new
Oh, okay.
Fist. Yes.
He's been the Iron Fist now, right, for a bit, or
Yeah.
did they redo it? Okay.
I mean, he's been it for a few years. He currently has a miniseries. I will talk about that a little bit later.
Okay, okay. I know he be whipping ass in Rivals. So
So, like the first 2 weeks when I was playing Marvel Rivals, he was definitely my main character, and I was up in the air punching and getting the thing. Great costume design that they gave him there is definitely translated over. We'll keep it going.
For sure. How are you? Uh-oh.
The week has been a little up and down for me. I'm not gonna lie, like a little up and down, like none, all superficial things. One of my ups was I did Pilates for the first time.
Okay.
Went to a class. I have been looking for something to like kind of mix in with my regular strength training workouts. I don't think I told you, but I had took some time off from the gym back in like December. I was done for the month. I wasn't doing anything. And then for the new year, I said I was going to look for something new to try. And I said I was going to do Pilates, but I didn't want to be one of those people who jumped into a class at the new year. So I was like, I'd wait a little bit. So now I finally did it. It was actually really great. I'm going back again next week, so I'm excited about that. But then on the flip side of that, I've really been trying to get these tickets to this Ariana Grande concert. And Ticketmaster, the evil corporation that is making it virtually impossible. And I'm someone who goes to a lot of concerts. I've done it since I was younger. I love live music. I love bands. I love like seeing your favorite artists and things like that. And so I know how this works. I know how much concert tickets be. I've done this a couple times.
You be in there.
What Ticketmaster is doing right now is like you go look at the nosebleed section of some of these tickets, and it's like $4,000 for nosebleeds tickets. That doesn't make any sense. I'm not exaggerating to you guys. I'm being like so very serious right now. Like you can go onto like Ticketmaster or SeatGeek or wherever, and like you'll see the tickets, and people are reselling them for enormous amounts. And that's really all it is resellers. And even like there was a Hillary Duff ticket sale going on recently. No, I like Hillary Duff. She's cool.
Yeah, she was cool back in like the 2000s.
She had a queue for her concert of like 12,000 people. Her tickets were for like $600 for one ticket.
To see Lizzie McGuire?
Now we all
Okay.
like the love and the dance. But
We do like to dance.
you got to be serious. So like that was like just like a really big thing. Then another high with some comics came out great this week, but then another low was that we just found out Mano is taking a hiatus from Cat's Eye. And that is
That's very upsetting. Speaking of tickets, I wanted to go see those girls. So like I was kind of late with the discovering of Cat's Eye. I got put on to them by the Gap commercial. And I was very late. And I remember I saw this Gap commercial and I remember texting you and being like, who are these girls? Because I like them. I'm there. And so I was pretty late, but I went back and like got into them, fully an icon now. Love all their stuff. So I'm like, all right, bet. I can go see these girls. I want to go to their little concert. These tickets can't be more than $50. I'll maybe give you 100 because at that point the Gap commercial was huge. So I was like, all right, whatever. These tickets were reselling $2,000-$3,000.
Yes, they were another one. I wanted to go take my little cousin to see them. She also loved them. I'm a big Cat's Eye fan as well, so it's like something me and her be talking about. I mean, she's 17, so it makes more sense for her. But I'm a
Well, yes.
So we still see each other. Like I was gonna try and take her to go see the concert, and yeah, man, it was like one ticket was $1,500. And again, these aren't even like seats up by the stage. They're like back. And it's just like, what are you doing? And then another thing that the resellers are doing is that they're making the tickets bundle. So it's like there will be
Mm,
eight seats that are available, but you can't just buy like one or two of those tickets for those. And you got to buy all eight of those tickets. And again, all eight of those tickets are $1,500 or something. It's been ridiculous. The ticket man, free Luigi Mangione. He's got some work to do.
someone's got to fix something.
Was that his last name,
Uh,
Mangione?
I don't know. I think Chuck Mangione is from King of the Hill.
The boy's name is Luigi, though, right?
Yes. Oh, goodness. All right, let's go ahead and get into these updates that's going on this week. Lots of things happening. Are you a big Sonic fan?
Sonic?
Do you like Sonic? Yeah. Do you like Sonic?
I mean, I like Sonic, and I've watched like the
Yeah.
cartoons, the games. I wouldn't say like I'm like a. I like Tails and Knuckles.
Of course you do.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, they just cast Kristen Bell as Amy in the
Oh,
Sonic 4. Now, I am genuinely shocked that this movie has now up to number 4.
you watch it?
No, I have not. I know they've made a lot of money.
I was about to say I am a Sonic fan because I've actually seen all of them, and I watched the Knuckles show. They're all really good.
Knuckles got a show?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, you definitely are a fan. You know about the spinoffs, like
Um, and then
with Idris Elba.
he's actually a pretty good Knuckles, which is like a lot for me to say because I don't really care for that man.
Right.
But I did see the Kristen Bell Amy news. I thought that was cool. I love Kristen Bell. She's great. However, I'll never forget there was a tweet that said Stunner Girl should be the voice of Amy and Sonic. That has never left my mind. And I like completely agree with it. So like Kristen Bell is great, but like it kind of should be Stunner Girl for real.
I need you and everyone out there listening to know that I have never watched a single episode of Baddies ever. However, I know who Stunner Girl is because I am just on the internet and I know the memes. And now I am always going to hear her voice whenever I see Amy.
Like
It's ridiculous. It kind of fits.
Like she would like one. I'll never forget the tweet somebody because they were talking about it. It was like a year or two ago when they were talking about the potential of Amy being in the Sonic movies, and they were saying, "Oh, who should be her voice actress?" And this girl tweeted, she was like, "Oh, Stunner Girl," and she was like, "I'm so serious."
And she was being serious.
I'm so serious. Like yes, and I would distinctly remember because I went. And like I listened to something that Stunner Girl said, like I was like, oh, let me go find a clip of her, or like listen. I think she makes music too. Maybe it was a song. I just went and heard her voice, and I was like, yeah,
Everybody rap.
I've been doing what I want.
Take tequila in the front, batty blunts in the back.
Stop. That's it.
It's ridiculous.
That's it. You should watch this.
Yeah,
You should watch the Sonic movies.
I might tap in. We'll see. You know, Cyclops is in it, and we'll see. They have started casting for the X-Files show. It's a new TV show by Ryan Coogler.
Pick up your phone.
Did you say Nicole Bahari?
Yes.
Exactly, Queen. Before I responded, I had to make sure that's what you said. But yes, Queen. I would love it if she was back on TV and in this X-Files show with that would eat so bad. Shout out to Nicole. That's why I wanted to be Sue Storm. But
yeah, I remember you were pushing that. But thank goodness that happened. You know, actually, hold on. Before you talk about anything else, a few weeks ago when we came back, we were talking about news and movies and updates and all of it. Did you talk about the Fantastic Four?
No, why would I do that? That movie was like, it was a while ago, right? Wasn't it?
Who cares?
Whoa. Favorite team that's pushing it.
I'm sorry.
Favorite. First and foremost,
I'm sorry.
I would always say that I like Sue the most of that team,
Okay.
but the X-Men were my favorite team. I like them more than the Fantastic Four,
Okay. Let's just go ahead.
even though I like some of my favorite characters more than the X-Men.
I mean,
They just don't really belong to a team.
okay. Let's just go ahead and move on.
Yeah.
Here's the next piece of news.
Yeah. So, anyways, the TV show Invincible is going to be coming back starting March 18th. Now, I'm a big fan of the show. We'll definitely be covering it, as it comes out. They're going to be having a 3-episode premiere, which I think is a lot. For
Well,
at first
so,
3 episodes.
yeah,
Like
I actually
sometimes
feel
it's
like
2.
that's just kind of a thing for Amazon Prime. A lot of their shows when they
Ah,
start out with 3 episodes.
mm. You know what? Maybe that helps people get hooked and stay tuned in for the show.
It really irritates people more than anything because the seasons only be like 9 episodes. So
That is true. Production budgets have gone down where they have not
yeah, so it's like
given a lot of episodes.
you get like the 3 episodes, then you really only got like a few more weeks of the show, and it's over.
That's like my girl Robin, huge Robin fan, and all her albums are always like that. She always releases like 2 or 3 songs, then the album come out and it was only 9. It's like, girl, I heard a third of this already. But yeah, I think the series will be interesting as they go forward and continue with the story from Invincible. I'm interested to see kind of what they changed and fixed. One thing I will give the team over on the show their credit for is kind of changing some things around from the comics into the show. I did see that there is a new character that they created for their game, that Invincible Versus game. Her superhero name is Elemental. She has all 4 elements for us, the black girl. Yeah. I wouldn't mind her being brought over into this show.
I feel like they'll do that. Well, is this the last season of Invincible?
I don't think so. I think they already greenlit a season 5.
Okay.
So I think they're gonna keep going.
I mean, I watched the show. I think the fight and action scenes tend to be like top notch on it. I'll never take that against them. I don't really like any of the characters, but like the fights, they're on.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we also got some solicits this week from both Marvel and DC. DC, I've got a bone to pick with you, but we'll come back to you in a second. So Marvel has some solicits come out. They have the Avengers Armageddon, which was announced. Some of these covers, they are covering the characters, so you can only really see the silhouette. There's clearly a Wolverine there, maybe a Thor. This woman with the star on her chest, people think it's Captain Marvel. But I think that they're blocked out because new characters are going to be coming around. And I think that might be the premise of the story here. This is going to be written by Chip Zdarsky, who, are you a fan of his stuff?
Yes, I am. I like a lot of what he's doing. I like a lot. One of his creator-owned indie books, Captar, I think it's an amazing company. If you've never read it before, you should definitely go and read it right now.
Yeah. So it's basically being promoted as Witness the Origin of the End, the battle that changed the face of Earth's mightiest heroes. So, I don't know. They always promise these big summer events. It's a 5-issue series, and it's by Chip Zdarsky, Frank Alpizar, and Delio Diaz, and it starts in June. And I don't know.
I've heard about the event, but I honestly have no idea what it's about. But I did see one of the covers had Sam on it, so I'll probably tune and check it out because I don't know. That's my captain. I'm gonna go with you.
That's fair, because I will definitely be reading.
And they're saying that I did see something that was saying this is going to probably lead into the next Avengers era. So their book, which makes me feel like Zdarsky's probably going to write the Avengers after this, and that'll will still be a part of the Avengers, which is also a good sign. So like we'll see what it's about.
I will be checking out the other summer event coming on from Marvel called Queen in Black, which initially was definitely, in my opinion, a Marvel Rivals tie-in because Marvel Rivals was also making Hela the kind of Queen in Black, and her taking over from Null, and that's basically what this event is happening. Although Null has taken over the Light Force dimension, and he has like a completely white costume, and now he's going to be basically fighting Hela, who is taking over a lot of doctor powers, and they're clashing, and all the heroes and everything have to basically stop them or maybe even help them. I'm interested to see this. It'll be written by Al Ewing and art by Ivan Coelho. Beta Ray Bill, My Girl Photon, Cloak and Dagger, Spider Man, Dark Star, Iron Man, Agent Venom are all present. I think this could be a fun.
His son.
I think so. Maybe that's the one that is Agent Venom now because he's in a white suit. It's a white Agent Venom suit.
It's so much. That's crazy.
Tired to Spider Man. And he's got a big fan base.
I was about to say, I don't even think it's a Spider-Man thing anymore. I just think Venom is like an entity.
Yeah. Yeah. His movie made a lot of money. I think both of them. Oh, wait, did he get 3?
I was about to say, I think it's 3.
That's crazy. Venom got a trilogy. Wow. What a world.
Do you know if these are they like a team in this book, or are they just kind of getting involved because of an area? Have they said anything?
I'm not gonna hold you. It's Venom, so I don't really get down over it. I don't know what's going on over there. I have no idea. And there is a Null miniseries, I think, happening currently where Al Ewing is writing it, and it's all about like Null and him, whatever he's got going on. Yeah. I'm assuming these heroes are all collectively becoming a team to take on them. If you look at the promotional art that they have for this, all of the people with energy or light powers are fighting Hela, and all of the people with dark force powers are fighting Null, or like light force Null. So I don't know if that's why these teams got together and that's what they're doing. I'm not sure. I'll definitely see
an opportunity to revamp Cloak and Dagger. I've been thinking about them a lot. How they're almost kind of similar in a way to Hawk and Dove over at DC Comics. And one thing that Hawk and Dove do a lot is they sometimes get rid of one of those and replace them with another. Like, so, at first it was Hank and Boy Dawn, and then Boy Dawn died, so Girl Dawn came. And there was a point where Hank became X-Fan and left. And then that's when her sister Holly came in. They're always kind of switching around. I wouldn't be mad if they did something like that for Cloak and Dagger. Like we've got Cloak, and now that Noah has this Light Force thing, he's like a killer. Maybe he offs Dagger, she's gone, but somebody else gets the Light Force power, and now we've got somebody else with the Dagger profile, and like we can get a new book going with it.
Oh, that would be interesting because I don't really care about Cloak and Dagger. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I do know that their powers are supposed to be tied together, right? Like they balance each other. The light and dark tie each other. So it'd be interesting if there was a new dagger that he's got, that he's tied with now. But Tandy would be his girlfriend, but like he's tied with that person. So
I think Tandy can just bleed. A lot of their story and that whole thing being tied together, it's like rap. It's like it's a metaphor for addiction, like drugs. I think getting rid
isn't that kind of what they got their powers from? Addiction, like it was like they were like on the street with drugs and stuff. Like they were like the war on drugs.
And so it's like getting rid of her. I think that's like a good metaphor for him, like being clean and like getting sober and getting his life back together and like having a new dagger. It's like moving on with that. You see?
Getting clean and getting sober. Is she the thing bringing him down?
Do you think so?
I don't care about them. So I don't know. I'm looking at them.
People to decide.
Yeah.
Actually, I won't, because they'll just say watch the show. And like the show is not what we're talking about.
Everybody always says, watch the show. They say if you want to get into Cloak and Dagger, to go ahead and watch the show. The show will tell you. I wonder if they'll bring them back.
They didn't get chairs, did they?
No, but they might bring out more chairs. Who knows? They love to stunt. And they probably try to bring all those TV shows back and like make them all canon again.
Like I said last time, when they want to start with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., then we can talk. Until then, no one else comes through.
We'll see. We'll see. So Marvel has some interesting other things that they put out. Not too crazy, in my opinion. And again, I wish Marvel needs to be a little bit of a... I don't want to say they need to reboot, but I think wish that there was a lot of focus. There needs to be a drop of like, where's everything being spearheaded and where's everything kind of going? I feel when you get these lists, a lot of it feels like they're selling variant cups and they're selling minis. There's a Doom Quest coming out, which is Doom going on some book. Obviously, the movie is coming out. So something for them to talk there. The one shot announced about Doom his first day. I think Al Ewing is going to be writing that. And it's about like basically probably an origin story for Doom, even though we have a bunch of those.
What's really funny about Doom? I feel like he was a character that I didn't know too much about for a really long time, and then but I liked him from the side, and then started reading stuff with him, and it was really good. And now I feel like he's at this space where he's just getting a lot of stuff, but it's not as good. So like a lot of that excitement I had about him, I just don't feel it anymore. Like when the Doom thing comes out now, I'm like, oh, it's just another Doom. Like I can wait to read raw. Whereas before I would have been like, oh yeah, like this is Doom. Let's get at it.
And I think it's because it's been pushed a lot lately. It was ever since RDJ was announced to be Doom in the Doomsday and Secret Wars. All of a sudden,
that also has like kind of soured me. Like just that whole casting and just like how that's happening. Now, whenever I look at Doom stuff, I also think about that, and like that is something that is affecting me with it. I believe they did that.
It's crazy. We did kind of cut down ever since we became associated with that, and it just really kind of puts a lot of Doom up there. I need to put back on that. Yeah, but like I said, the Marvel solicited some interesting events coming this year. Something that is kind of like they're really just selling variant covers. But we'll see. We'll definitely get a post on it. Now, over to DC. DC has announced a bunch of new books coming out that are considered DC Next Level. Now, I'm just going to fire off the names of some of these books that they've announced. There is, these are all coming starting in March, going from March to April, in May as well as in June. This is Batwoman #1, Lobo #1, Deathstroke #1, Fury of the Firestorm #1, Zatanna #1, Barbara Gordon #1, The Dead Man #1, Teen Titans #1. Now that Teen Titans lineup is Jason Todd, Fairplay, Flatline, and two other people I have no idea who they are. A bunch of... Oh, that's what it is. Yes. Harper. And what about the other two?
Cheshire. I think they're new characters.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea who they were, but it's with Red Hood. And we'll discuss that in a second. There's Legion of Superheroes #1, Doom Patrol #1, Jonah Hex #1, The Demon #1, Batman Shadow of the Bat #1, and Nothing for Black People.
At all.
Even which is wild.
Serrani. And like the Firestorm, and like, so another thing about Firestorm, I'm like a casual Firestorm fan to the point where I can tell you some things he's been in, I can like say his powers, but I can't do too much else about that. But like between like Ronnie and Jason and all that stuff they got going on, and like the way Ronnie has not been used in forever, and he's just randomly popped back up after Jason has had the spotlight and has been doing like the work and has been like really well received. It's insane to
Very
me.
well received.
Like it wasn't, and don't get me wrong, because DC had a very strong history of like bringing in a black character to replace a white character, and it don't always go over well. Wally West,
It doesn't. I was just gonna bring him up. It didn't go well for what they call him now, Ace. It didn't go that well for him.
it changed his entire name. But
Yeah.
like when Jason came around for the Firestorm thing, like the people were with that.
Mhm.
I remember he made it into the Injustice games. Like they were all about that. It was cool.
He was in
So
on the TV show in the
yeah,
Arrowverse.
and I think he was also one of the ones who popped up in the Batman animated Brave and Bold animated series. Like
Yes, he was. Yeah.
so, to see them backsliding all the way to Ronnie is really crazy to me.
Yeah, I wasn't too thrilled at all these new books that they were announcing. Lobo, like
You know, I'll never understand that.
we are getting a Jonah Hex #1 while Vixen remains on the shelf.
Jonah Hex. That don't even make sense. And like, there is something about like those Jonah Hex people that DC really loves. Because do you remember a few years ago when Bendis did his Titans reboot? They had Jenny Hex.
Oh yeah,
Like, I don't know what it is. We need to let that go.
it's probably a rights thing. They probably got to
Listen,
publish something to keep the name rights or something.
I'm so okay. We can do all that. That's cool too. Back of the line.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. Like,
We got a few people that need to get up there first. Again, Vixen not having any type of book yet is like ridiculous. Oh, you can say maybe it wasn't ready for the first line launch, but like the second wave, still nothing. Jonah Hex. I know Doom Patrol's coming back. I know again, just having a Lobo book in general over her seems kind of crazy. Even a character like Bumblebee, who is someone who DC uses
mhm.
in a lot of their media and a lot of their superhero shows. Like we see her face, she's in Teen Titans cartoons. Has never had any type of book, not even a one shot. So it's just like, what's going on? How is Lobo on his whatever, Deathstroke on his whatever? People don't even like Deathstroke no more.
Hello, but I think it's just a certain era of fans that still hold on to Deathstroke, the assassin, even though most people know him for being a weirdo. Most people know him for kissing that little girl. Like,
What was the last Deathstroke book that made noise? That people were like, "Oh yeah, we got to run out to buy Deathstroke." Even if it's that certain era of fans who are doing it, they're not talking about it because they know they're gonna be looked at weird.
yeah, because they know they're gonna be looked at weird. And I feel like that's just something you gotta just like let them go.
No, sorry. Like they another one. We can stop pushing books for him.
Yeah, I don't know. This at least I would give DC the benefit of the doubt that they're at least trying with their characters compared to Marvel, who is just waiting for the MCU to tell them what to do. You know, DC is saying, let's put a Jonah Hex book out. It just really sucks that there's no Vixen or, any
It's,
of these other characters.
I think it's just like extra frustrating because you have these characters. A lot of DC books are good. Like
Mm,
they have a lot of really good talent, a lot of really
very good talent.
artists like pushing out some quality series, and they get to go on for a long, long time. DC doesn't put the books out for the black characters, and then when they do, we get that occasional Black Lightning miniseries because that's usually all we're gonna get. Um, it's 5 issues, and then you don't hear anything else. And then it's like, even if it is like a Zatanna, who's a character I love, and shout out to Jamal Campbell, he's a Black creator. He's been doing some really great work with Zatanna on that book, and like now it's extending with this next level. When it was like that was one of the books that came out at first, and it was 5 issue miniseries. It did really well, and now here we are getting a new #1 to lead off a new series. There were others, so Cyborg and Black Lightning had books that did really well and were well received. They got their 5 issues. Mr. Miracle, now it's nothing. and it's just like silence. And then you got to wait till February for the next Power Company special to come out. Even now, when you talk about DC in this Milestone reboot, and they're talking about the Dakota incident and how there's apparently a challenge going on, they want to sell 100,000 issues. You shouldn't have to sell that much. The other
Just to hope to get one of the milestone characters to have a book on the shelf after this Dakota incident. You're not asking the Flash. You're not asking the Flash to do that, and the Flash don't never sell. I look at those monthly sales, and he's got a book out all the time, and it's flopping. They don't never ask him to do any of that.
problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like DC, whoever came up with that discrimination comics, you ain't with that one. Yeah, I just feel like it shouldn't be this difficult to do or to try. And I recognize you have to sell books. I totally get that. Like I get the business aspect of it. I talk about it all the time. But I do think that maybe there is a market of people who are willing to buy stuff if you market to them with stuff that they want to buy. Like I'm gonna buy the Vixen book. I don't really care about a Jonah Hex. Are there enough people out there that want a Jonah Hex book to justify that over even trying another Black Lightning?
And it's like you can't say that, they're trying to say, oh, no one's pushing for them or like pitching for them. And it's like, you can't say that because I see plenty of creators online, writers and artists talking about, oh, I sent this pitch in. Oh, I'm always talking about this character. I see some of your biggest writers online championing the absolute universes and things of that nature and all these other books that come out. And I see the people in their comments talking about these characters and asking where they are. And I know they see it too because they're replying to all the other people who aren't asking. So it's like, don't try and tell me that the demand isn't there. Don't try and tell me that the people aren't putting in the work to try and make it happen because it's there. It's just you not doing it. What that man from Milestone said about Jim Lee. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find that interview again. So I can.
Yeah, I know what he said.
But I distinctly remember that man at Milestone saying something real about you.
Real. And
yeah,
something's got to change. And you know what? On that note, let's go ahead and take a break.
Love it.
Welcome back to the show, and this is the comic portion. And I'm going ahead and get started with my first book for the week, and it is Batman Beyond. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm actually pronouncing it wrong. It is Batman Static Beyond. I think it's actually like Batman / Static Beyond, not Map. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. That actually does sound
yeah. Batman Static Beyond #2 by Evan Narcisse, Nicholas Draper Ivy, and Will Quintana. And to be honest, this was just more fun issue. Like this was a little bit more action-packed than the last one. The last one we saw there was the rally because Virgil and everyone over in like from Paris Island and from Dakota City are going to be introducing this new thing called this quantum juice, which is this new energy that they're going to be using to power everything and like make everything better. It was going to be using when Static got his powers, the Bang Baby stuff. It was like that quantum's like smoke. They were going to be using that as the source of the energy. Obviously, there are people who are against it. There was that boy who got caught in the explosion. I was like, I think he's going to get powers. Sure enough, what happened? He glowing, he got powers. Yes. He wakes up in this hospital. He starts glowing. Batman Beyond is like, hey, Virgil, like, I need your help. Static is like, you should have been already, like, they're kind of beefing, which is really interesting. Static is like kind of coming down harder on Batman Beyond. And he's like, this Q stuff that I'm introducing is going to save the world. Like, we can't be having these explosions happening here. And to me, this felt like a a black character basically saying like, I can't have these mess ups like this, like that's going on the way that you probably can and that you're used to. Like, I have to, this has to be done right. Yeah. Um, and he's like, you need to like stay up on this and let's find Melvin because he was in Melvin's the new superpower kid. We need to find Melvin. Melvin got powers where he could turn everything off and like absorb energy, basically. He learns he learns pretty quickly that he can do this and turn powers off, turn like things off, absorb their powers.
He's Leech. God.
Oh yeah, I can see it's it's kind of like um I was gonna say that it's kind of a little bit like the guy that was in Invincible, who like every time you hit him, he like had this like a big electrical charge, kind of the opposite of that, where he was like absorbing it, not from anything hitting him, but he could like touch something and absorb it.
Okay.
Some really cool stuff, some red looking powers, really cool. He's basically becomes this villain and he's like, I'm going to finish what I started. I didn't want this Q juice thing becoming active. I'm going to go out there and finish what I started. He has this cool black poncho with this like red power symbol, when you turn something off, like the on off symbol. It's kind of cool looking. Virgil explains to people, we're going to be helping everybody with this Q juice. We see Rocket, Raquel Evans. She is now the mayor of Dakota City. And she talks about how, I used to be a superhero, but I felt like I could change the world in other ways. So I ran for mayor. And now there are other people who are out there doing the work of a superhero. We see this new superhero named Bunker, who the readers will know is her son. But obviously, when she's talking to people, she doesn't say that that's my son out there as a superhero. We know that Beacon is her son named Amistad. He literally has the same abilities as her. I'm pretty sure he's using her belt. So they're all on a lookout for Melvin, and they end up finding out where he is because there's been these like power outages. Static ends up showing up. I'm sorry. First, Beacon gets there. He's like, I can help do some stuff right there. Let me attack this guy. The Melvin turns his powers off because he's like, I can just absorb your belt. There's nothing for me. Beacon's down. Static shows up. There's this big fight. Now, Static is, of course, trying to like calm everything down. But then Batman Beyond shows up and wants to come in and punch him first. He comes and punches Melvin. Things get pretty rough because obviously everyone gets heated. Powers explode. There's this huge explosion. And then the comic ends. Now, I would absolutely love to see this like animated. This looks really, really cool. There are a lot of really cool, flashy moments and some awesome looking powers and stuff. I think this would be like a really cool, like animated movie. There were a lot of really cool cameos too. Like you see Stargirl at one point in the background there. Like I said, you also meet Rocket as she is now the mayor. There was a moment where Gear shows up and he's in his like Gear costume. He looks like a cooler Iron Man, to be honest. Like in the future, he's no longer, like the kid from the TV show that people remember where he's got his Gear costume there. Now he's got like a legitimate suit. He did fight the villain. It has some really cool moments there. Overall, I would give this issue a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. It's a really fun series. It's really cool to see Static more as an adult. There are moments where he talks to Beacon on the phone because Beacon's like, hey, I would like to get some insight from you and like, what can I do to help? But Static's like, I'm an adult. Like, I got other stuff to do. And to see Static like come out and be a little bit more stern with Batman Beyond because I felt like when he was younger, Virgil was the one who would have been, being chastised for not following everything all the way through protocol or not following up and like quote unquote losing Melvin. Whereas now Static is the one telling Batman like, hey, you know, focus. You we got to be serious here. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I think it's a really fun series. I think it's just going to be like a really
I didn't know that the
yeah.
second was out, so that was on me because I had just read it on DC Infinite. So well, I remember I felt like it was out on the same day, so I'll double check to see if it's something like now. But when it comes out, I definitely will read it. I like the first issue. I thought it was cool. I agreed about the whole thing about seeing Static as an adult. Like that's a great because A, it's something that we never see, but then B, I think it allows him to do more with his abilities that we never get the chance to get to. So it's nice to see
Like fly. It's cool to see him fly without a board. It's cool. So yeah, 4 out of 5 for me for sure.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad you like that. I had a few books myself this week. There's one that I really it was going to be my book, big book of the week. But like I had shot a few. Generation X 23 #1 came out this week. That's from Jody Hauser, and art from Jacopo Camagni, and then colors from Eric Arciniegas. Now, I will admit I'm not the biggest Laura fan, but I really like Jodie Hauser, the writer, and Laura, the character, I'm not a huge fan, but like when she's on page, she's cool. So I was like, let me go ahead and check this out. It was the new #1 of like the new X books, and there's newest Mission of Shadows and Tomorrow. It was actually pretty good. I feel like a lot of writers lately, since Laura has become Wolverine, have defaulted her to um, talking almost like Logan and just becoming like Logan doing definitely how she is. I feel like this is the first time in a while that it actually felt like her voice and her like a character. And yeah, as you see, and like just talking about Laura in general, her character has like come really, really far. Like I don't even know if people remember when she played debut in the comics as NYS, that she was a prostitute and she was like cutting herself and she was living on the streets and all that stuff like that. So to really think about where she is now as Wolverine and seeing her do this stuff, and she's like the up in program, and this guy's supposed to be creating kids. She doesn't like it. She's going to do something about it. It's fun. Check it out if you like Laura, if you like Weapon X and all that stuff. Cool. Um, Also, Thundercats came out with issue 24. This is the main series by Daphne Shelby, and David Sullivan is on art. This is like, do you know the Silverhawk? The cartoon?
No, wait. No. Maybe.
Um,
I feel like I had a toy that was a silver hawk before. Are they actual hawks?
no, they're like
Okay,
they're
never mind. Never mind.
the Thundercats and the Silverhawks are about to have a crossover, and so this issue was basically just like leading up to that crossover. Really good. Again, I talked about it last week when the two specials came out from everything. The Thundercats books are amazing. I think everybody should get them. But before I get into my like big book of the week, also, I feel like we were talking about cosmic stuff recently. I read Planet She-Hulk
I always am.
because it was on Marvel Unlimited. It dropped, and I know that Marvel's been doing their whole cosmic push. It was so good.
That cosmic push, it's already over.
I heard, and I'm floored because this issue was so good. Like, shout out to the team for that. It's great. I really can't wait to read the next few issues. It seems like it's gonna be great. But my big book of the week, and the reason for my name today is Deadly Hands of Kunlun #1 from Yifan Jiang, Paco Medina, and Fusi Bellati. And this is the return of Lindley, the Iron Fist, in a comic. We've been missing him for a very long time now, and he's been dominating Marvel Rivals. And we know that Marvel loves to do their synergy, so we were wondering when that was going to kick in, and now we're finally here. Now, before we get into all of this, did you know that Danny Rand was dead?
I did not. He died?
Yeah.
Who did the body, though? No, I'm kidding.
I can't give you the exact details because I was not there when he died. But I do know that he had died because I was aware of the miniseries that he had, the Undead Iron Fist, and this was talking like after he had died. And this was like basically his resurrection. So like Danny is no longer the Iron Fist. He does not have the powers from Runes and the dragon. But in this dead state, he is now working for Osiris, the Egyptian god of the day.
Oh,
What was going on in his mini series. So if you're a Danny Rand fan and you would like to get more into that, you can go ahead and check that out. But here we talk about Lynn. And we started out, well, I don't know if everybody knows, but when Lin Lee started out, he was actually Sword Master. He has a brother named Lin Fang, and there is this god Chi Yu, who's the god of war. And they found out that they are supposed to be the watchers of the team, the keeping heart. And Lin Fang was actually supposed to be the older brother, but he didn't want to. And so Lin Lee, this and he took over. He became the Sword Master. But this last year, when he was on a mission with White Fox, the sword was destroyed. But the shards of the sword went into his hand, and all the power of the sword now was in his hands. And so that's how he became the new Iron Fist. He does constantly talk about how the shards cause him immense pain, but like he still does it, and it's just like a part of what he's done. He's done become willing to train. He's trained with Danny. He's thinking of training with like Timothy and White Fox. Really good stuff. And so here, his brother is now basically trying to bring this demon god back. And so he is going to all of the other heavenly cities where the other Iron Fist immortal weapons live. And that's like Ride of Nine Spiders, Splash Cobra, Brother Dog, Steel Serpent, Tiger's Beautiful Daughter. For those people, if you've never read the Immortal Weapons series, please go and check it out. Matt Fraction, David Aja, some really great stuff. But there's great warriors. The brother goes around, he goes killing all these people basically because he's learned from Loki about the location of the demon hearts. He's got two of them, he's dispersing. Where's our third one going to be? No place better than New York, of course, here Lin Lee is. But we haven't gotten there just yet. We do see Lin Lee, he's working with White Fox again. They're like fighting some monsters. They're making the news, causing the ruckus. We also run into Sky, who is, excuse me, I'll be payoff her. But she is the youngest Iron Fist, the little girl.
Is that the cute little girl with the little she has a mask? I think like a little mask.
That's her. But
yeah,
she's in this. And she's a little upset. So like her relationship with Lynn is like really dynamic because technically he's older than her, but like she knows more as an Iron Fist than he does. So he sees her as his senior, and he does a lot of like trying to impress her and like make sure that she sees him as a good Iron Fist. He, however, is all about Danny. Like they get into an argument about something, and she basically lets him know, "You'll never be as good as Danny. You should stop trying."
Oh.
And, and he was like, even saying, he's like, "I'm not trying to be Danny. Like I'm not."
Like whoa.
And she was like, "Yeah, you'll never be good enough," and like runs off. So like that happens. He goes off like to just kind of focus and do his own thing. While he's out, he actually runs into White Tiger and Electra. They're fighting the demon as well, who recognizes all three of them. Realize this is all a part of the plan to get a lot of people in the same shape. Lin Fang initiates the next phase of his plan, which blocks off New York, and a bunch of the people come in and come running down. Looks like it's about to be a big battle. Maybe the concept is going to blend. The issue was good. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed seeing Lin again. I will say that some of the dialogue was a little generic, I guess you could call it. And also, I feel like because this issue was trying to do a lot of setup, it wasn't really trying to focus on like the individuality of people. It was just trying to make sure that you knew what was going on and that this was what was about to happen. Specifically, the scenes where Alexa and White Fox come into the picture, you know, the way they're talking to Lynn, it's like, "Oh, did you see Sif Mystic Fragment as well?" And it's just like, why would you talk about this boy who you go like you're in the middle of a battle, like it's just something.
But it's trying to set some stuff up, probably.
It's just trying to set some stuff up. It just feels a little awkward. So we'll see as it continues on if like we get a little bit more individuality in the voices in that. I'm hoping so. Paco Medina's art is very serviceable. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen this artist a lot in a lot of titles, and it's not always my cup of tea, but I thought it was pretty good here in this first issue, and I've seen like some for the next one. They also look good. I've seen something in the solicitations that's appears to spoil what's going to happen in the book, which is kind of weird. It does also seem like Lynn is going to get a new costume at some point, like kind of power upgrade. So it'll be exciting to see how we're going to get there to that point. But Other than that, it was
New
really good.
merchandise to sell.
All the time. That's what they do. But yeah, I thought the issue was really good. I think if you don't know much about Lynn and the stuff about Ironfield, this issue definitely does explain it to you in detail, so you'll get to know the story. Um, but other than that, yeah, it was just like it was good. It's a good. I'm always also a fan of like a tournament, like my contest of champion
They're
situation.
fine.
Go on here with like a lot of these other people, Electric and the White Tigers in it. We are going to see the Immortal Weapons at some point. We saw Danny working for Osiris, so I'm sure he's going to pop up again at some point. White Fox and Kay are there, so it's like it's a lot going on. We're going to have a good time. I would give the issue a 3 out of 5, a solid start.
Right?
Again, some of the voices are a little off. Some of it feels a bit like wordier than it needs to be, but we're setting up. And I feel like this writer, I'm not super familiar with him, so this will be newer to the comic. And yeah, I'm always going to give a little leeway to the creep before me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People gotta tap in. All right, well, definitely keep us up to date then on this one. And let's go ahead and take a break, and then we'll be right back. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another relaunch. This is the TV and movie section of the show. And this week we'll be talking about episode 4 of the Wonder Man MCU show. This was directed by James Ponsoldt and written by Zeke Nicholson. Now, this was a black and white episode, and definitely one that I think could be submitted for their awards and everything, because it was a departure from Simon and his story of being Wonder Man, and we get the backstory of this Damar Doorman Davis. Now, in the last episode, Simon brought up that, no one can find out about my powers because of the whole Doorman clause, and Trevor was like, "What's that?" And he was like, "Don't worry about it. Like, it don't even matter now because I didn't get the job." Sure enough, he actually did get the job. But this episode, we learn all about Damar Doorman Davis. Now, in the comics, Doorman is I don't know if he's a mutant. I don't think he's a mutant.
I think he is a mutant.
He is? He is.
Yeah. He has Dark Force powers. Doesn't he?
Yes, he does have Dark Force powers, yeah. But I didn't know he had an X gene. But look at that.
A couple of those like Great Lakes Avengers characters, I think that was like a whole thing. Like that was supposed to be a thing about them. Like they were mutants, but like they were calling themselves Avengers. And then like later they changed themselves to like the Great Lakes X-Men.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't really read any of that stuff. Isn't there some girl called Big Bertha?
yeah, there is a Big Bertha.
Or like a flat. Isn't there like a flat man or something? I don't get it. I don't know.
I don't read a lot of their comics, but like I'm familiar with them.
I did not know that. Look at that. Learn something new. Doorman is a mutant. So look at the MCU already adding more mutants to everything. His real name is Damar Davis, and I don't think he actually ever took his mask off
until recently. And I think the Marvel Infinity comic, and now he's a black man.
Which is fantastic. That they were able to A, add more black characters, and B, go ahead and give him the synergy shot. Now, we see in the TV show, Damar is an actual doorman. He works at a club and he checks IDs at the door. After one of his shifts, goes towards the back. There's this goop that is running off from a Roxxon dumpster. It's Roxxon.
Roxxon, they're always there. That's who the people
need. Cloak need to do something about them, because somehow they've got access to Dark Force and they just be giving it out to people and just like maybe just making Dark Force users. So they need to. Cloak got to go handle that. It would be interesting if they were able to kind of tie this into the Cloak and Dagger show and bring him into this.
Cloak and Dagger fan.
See.
Until we were
They did. It got back to that show. But he goes over, checks this dumpster. There's this goop. All of a sudden, he is in this dark force dimension, and now he has powers. So um, he rescues, he saves Josh Gad, who is in this show, who is Josh Gad. He's not playing another character, he's playing himself. And from there, he basically becomes like this big celebrity. Like he becomes the doorman, you know, ding dong is his catchphrase. And
and I only hate hearing it because it just made me think of Cardi B, which then made me think of Doja mocking Cardi.
ding dong.
Every time they would say it.
It is funny. Now he is on this show called Cash Grab, which is funny. It's a heist film. Obviously, it's a shot at the MCU and all their other kind of movies, which I think is funny. Cash Grab is this success. His celebrity keeps growing. He does end up, drinking a bit and becoming a bit overexposed. I thought this was an interesting look at the way that we talk about, like, quote unquote micro celebrities who we give this like 15 minutes of fame to, and we cycle through them. And, or a society who was just talking about how they don't like superpowered people, this man has powers and you can, laugh along with them and make some profit off of them. So it's fine. But the minute he is no longer funny or, something the shiny toy for you, you throw him away. He ends up losing Josh Gad within him. So there's this like disaster going on. He's like telling everyone to run through him, and Josh Gad run through and
never comes out.
Josh never comes out. And to the point where I saw people, because Josh Gad in real life got other roles for other movies. He's also going to be doing the voice for Olaf and more Frozen things. And he got announced to be in a project, and people were genuinely questioning, like, well, how did he get out? How are you going to do it? He's like stuck in the dark forest dimension, which I thought was kind of fun. Yeah. Hollywood, after Josh gets lost in there, no one can find him. They basically end up having the doorman clause where powers are no longer allowed on set. Now, I personally thought that this was an interesting way of kind of planting the seeds for, that da-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na. I feel like these are starting to plant the seeds towards the mutants coming around and there being some hostility towards people who are different. With the way that they are describing Simon and his powers. Again, we don't really know if he's a mutant, but he did have these powers when he was younger. I've talked about this before. It could be a thing of how do you know? Who they decide to throw their bigotry towards when someone may have powers but not be a mutant. So I'm interested to see if they actually end up diving into something like that as the show goes on. I thought this episode was fantastic. For me, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I had a great time with it. I thought that it was very well done and well shot, and I liked the whole black and white aspect of it. I thought I would have been bothered by a show that was called Wonder Man, but there's a whole episode that don't have anything to do with him. But this was well done, so it's okay.
It was good. It was not. It was a really good episode. I loved the black and white aspect of it. I didn't think about that hostility part towards like future mutants, so that's actually really interesting, and I can see that happening. The part I think I liked the most was when he was freeing everyone from the club, and he was like, "Run through me," and everybody's like. Even when they're doing it, it's like they still kind of moving slow, and it's just like, oh, this is weird because like that's really how it would be. So I thought that was really cool, and always am going to support Dark Force users. And
you do love a Dark Force.
I don't know what it is. They're just amazing and they can do so much. They don't get enough respect, in my personal opinion. But I like
Mm,
them. It was cool to see. Again, Roxanne, watch
mhm.
out for them. Always at the Phoenix Plan.
Oh, I also did like that they showed his comic book costume with the man. They had him put the
Oh,
mask on. I thought that was cool.
that was
Yeah,
very
I like
cool.
nod to his suit.
I do wonder, like, if that'll come back around, like the dumpster
Mm.
and it, like the goo and like if he's eventually going to say like, oh hey, I saw this weird thing. Or if we see him again sometime in this year, just anything like if that pops back in, because I do think it was weird that like he went out there was there and then it was gone,
Mm.
gone.
It sounds like we need to go ahead and greenlight season two, so we can get more of these things answered. Uh, What would you rate this episode?
I give it a 4.5. I really like. I really thought it was good. Again, the black and white got me. The acting was good. The Josh Gad stuff was hilarious. I think even the scene of him when he kind of goes back to the bar and he's like talking to the boss, and she was just asking him like, "Are you happy?" and all those type of things. Like, just it really hit home. And again, for an episode to now feature the main character of Stay We Got Good, it was definitely and it's good.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Fantastic episode. All right, y'all. That brings us to the end of the show. Make sure you like, rate, and subscribe us wherever you get your podcasts. You can email us anything you want at another relaunch at gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram and other social media platforms, Another Relaunch. And Another Relaunch TV if you want to watch us on YouTube. You can find me on most social media platforms at Uncanny LZ. Keenan, where can they find you?
You guys know you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Keenan Lane with the underscore at handle.
Awesome. All right, y'all. Let's get up out of here and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.